learn about LGBTQ plus topics and how. My preferred name is Minnow. I use they, them, or its pronouns. I'm non-binary or like agender. I'm also asexual. When I was young, I did not know much about LGBT people. I wish I did because I felt like out of place, and I didn't feel like I felt unusual, and I'm like happy that I found out a word to describe how I feel about my gender. So on Reddit there's a question thing that's what do you think about children being taught about LGBTQ? And these are counter arguments. Teachers should keep their own sexuality to themselves first off. Parents should be the ones answering these questions when children have them. Obviously, there will be gay classmates who naturally children will be curious, and teachers should keep it to ask your parents. The only time a teacher should ever be involved if a gay student is being bullied, or the involvement should end after the parents and administrators have been notified. The history of gay Americans and their struggles should be, of course, be taught as part of history of our nation, but it should be at a high school level when students are more developed emotionally and mentally. Mental people should keep to themselves. Don't try to shove your mental beliefs on kids. I think LGBTQ is in the kids' faces way too much, so the gayness in movies and stuff these days, gender neutral stuff, is just too much. When we have a lot of unnecessary learning requirements, just because people can't learn to accept others doesn't mean it should go and affect the large majority of people, especially young people at that. And then it's child abuse. Parents should make decisions to teach their kids whatever they want, not society. The benefits of teaching it is a more inclusive environment, less stigma, less bullying, hate and violence, more education, less ignorance, less suicidal ideation, safer schools, and preparedness for intimacy and relationships for all. Some background information is in 2019, Preventing Suicide said that suicide is the second leading cause of death for people aged 10 to 34 in the United States. LGBTQ plus youth are more likely to report suicidal ideation and behavior. In 2016, 60% of the LGBT students reported they heard disparaging remarks from teachers and staff about the LGBT community. 2017 National School Climate Survey reported by GLSEN stated 87 to 95% of LGBT students experience harassment, bullying, or assault because of their identity. 55.3% didn't report, and of the ones who did report, 60.4% said nothing happened to the people who did that to them. 57.3% experienced trans or homophobic comments. The risk factors for LGBT youth, like for suicide, is the minority stress theory. It's a theory that Mayer stated in 2003. It states any social identity that is stigmatized and discriminated against causes more stress. It can cause internal conflict like self-hatred and shame. It causes closeting or hiding who they are, which causes mental health issues. It also states social factors can affect their mental health. Another risk factor is not enough support for family or accepting family, friends, and trusted adults. Stressful school environment like harassment, bullying, or assault. Feeling scared or unsafe is another risk factor. Some protective factors for suicide for LGBT youth is inclusive school environment, social awareness and support, more resources, education about LGBT topics, policy that protect LGBT plus youth, family friends that are accepting, safe spaces for the LGBT youth. How would they add LGBT topics in school? When talking about like famous videos, you can add like the LGBTQ individuals and what they accomplished and stuff. They can acknowledge or celebrate Pride Month, talk about gay rights movement and eugenics. Do awareness campaigns like Pink Shirt Day for anti-bullying of LGBT students, use LGBT literature and media, allow LGBT topics for school projects, and don't silence them. And I'll just click.
We asked some gender, or gender non-binary, however, has a gender identity that does not align with the sex they were assigned at birth. Transgender and non-binary people can experience. I'd like to teach people about gender identity and how to use pronouns correctly. First off, let's talk about the difference between sex and gender identity. Sex is something that is assigned at birth. When the medical professional says, "It's a boy," or "It's a girl," they are basing this off of your physical anatomy, or your sex. Gender identity is a person's experience of their own gender. Most people's gender identity aligns with the sex they were assigned at birth. The term for this is cisgender, from the Latin cis, meaning on this side of. Someone who is transgender, or gender non-binary, however, has a gender identity that does not align with the sex they were assigned at birth. Transgender and non-binary people can experience their gender in a variety of ways. Some transgender people may identify strongly with the gender. Some may feel disconnected from masculine and feminine genders, while others may experience their gender as a combination of both. Here's a quick refresher on grammar. Pronouns are words we use to refer to someone in place of a name. Some are tied to a specific gender, like he, him, his, and she, her, hers. Others, like they, them, theirs, are gender neutral.
Just a quick little example of how we could teach it. What can we do now is you can introduce when you introduce yourself, use your preferred pronouns and name. Decorate the area, like your room, with items that scream allyship. Protect LGBT people from harassment and never tolerate homophobic slurs. Have conversations about LGBT people positively. Donate to LGBT youth organizations. In Bismarck and Mandan area, there's a kind of group called, or organization called Q-Space. It is like an LGBT youth group where they meet and like talk about stuff. And the Treble Project and Dakota Outreach. Do research on organizations to see if they help. Volunteer for organizations. Create a safe space and be there for your family members. Educate yourself on LGBT terminology and current issues. Believe them when they tell you who they are and don't doubt them. Partake in Pride or other awareness events. Allow LGBT people to speak and ask what you can to help them. Read, watch, follow, repost, buy from LGBT individuals. And it has been.
Thank you.